Yeah, boy, I got the goods. Oh man, I'm feeling wealthy here. Raw milk. This is first time in my life. I got raw milk straight from the farm, and actually second time ever I even got raw milk. It is kinda hard in Finland. I'm gonna talk about that later in the day when it's time for raw chicken. Just wanted to show you guys my little haul. 10 liters of raw milk for only 11-20 euros. That is super cheap, and that was so nice experience. I was talking with the farmers like 45 minutes. I'm gonna talk about that later. Then from the other farm, which was very close to the raw milk farm, I got some amazing meat. This is liver, heart, and this is beef cheek muscle. Never had that before, and I can never get beef hearts in the stores, and some good ass liver probably. I'm gonna do a taste test soon, but this is straight from the farm also, super cheap. This is quite a bit of meat, and this was under 30 euros, so under 40 euros, 10 liters of raw milk, like 1 kilo of raw liver, over almost 2 kilos of beef heart, and this is like 500 grams. Here's some good eggs also. I didn't get those, but these are really good quality and farm raised eggs, very close. And yeah, that's what you can get when you go out there in the world and go get this stuff. That's what you're gonna do. But I'm excited about this. Also, these are good because I cannot get this from the stores. No, I cannot get this, I cannot get this, and maybe I cannot get this quality of liver also. So we're living it up, boys and girls. Today's episode of Raw Chicken Experiment is sponsored by Raw Milk. Thanks, cows. You are a great sponsor, and I support your message. So actually I'm really happy about first time in my life. Went to a farm, got some raw milk. It was super nice experience. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit later, like I said already. Anyway, I've only one time had raw milk from the cow in my life. That was like 6 years ago. And obviously I got that raw milk when I was young from my mama's titty, like all children should. That raw milk was sick. Can't remember it though, but we got this raw milk. It's from original Finnish cows, A2 milk, so like very good breed for a Finnish boy like myself. Obviously I'm not a baby cow, but raw milk still maybe good, maybe not. I'm gonna talk about it today and give you update later when I've drinking the whole 10 liter. What? 10 liters. But let's taste it. That's good. That's refreshing as hell. Woo. Taste is amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna talk about it later when I eat my raw chicken, but now we have raw milk. And today's episode is also sponsored by raw liver and the other raw meat I got from my other farm that was very close to the milk farm. I've been that farm once before, and one thing you like notice immediately when you go to these farms that do practice like traditional farming, like the cows have space, they eat their natural food, which is grass, and they are treated nicely, that the meat looks very different from the or not very different, but quite a bit more rich looking, like darker and just more rich than the supermarket meat. So that's one thing I've always noticed about these like farms. The meat you get from those is not the same you get from supermarket. So let's try. This raw liver looks way more darker than the liver I got from the supermarkets. And this is very fresh meat. This was slaughtered 6 days ago. You don't get that in the supermarket. Wow. Wow. You can taste the difference, for sure. The flavor is much milder, like just so balanced. I know many people can't stand liver. I always I kinda liked liver quite a bit. Sometimes the supermarket liver tastes kinda ass. Also, it was incredible how much nutrition you get from like 35 euros. The milk was so cheap. Wow. That made me so happy. It was so wholesome. I forgot my camera, so I didn't get to film the cows and stuff. The meat cows were some special kind of breed. Kinda cool looking. And the milk cows were like the very traditional Finnish cows. So, like the best milk ever. And the people were so nice, especially the milk farmers. I talked so long. Gonna talk about them more. Anyway, get out there. Go get that real food. It's the best. Oh, look at that. Raw chicken is back. It wouldn't be a raw chicken experiment without raw chicken, wouldn't it? So let's talk about these very wholesome, also very based, at least the milk farmers, like they were extremely based, maybe not as based science. We are the pig based, but you have to be pretty damn based to even sell raw milk in Finland. So first of all, it's actually illegal to sell raw milk in the stores, and they were telling me the other things like the government makes you do. Like, first of all, I went there and you can kinda feel like I'm a new customer and they're kinda like trying to figure me out first, like asking like, do you know this? I have to ask you, have you ever drinking raw milk? But it took maybe like 1 minute of a little bit of tension, and she understood like, oh, this guy gets it, and then she opened up a lot, and we talked about maybe 45 minutes or something. So first of all, they make these guys, first it's illegal to market selling raw milk in Finland. So you cannot do any marketing. Then you have to give these pamphlets where like the government officials have written some rules about raw milk, or like information about raw milk. Then they cannot tell you how long the raw milk stores, which is like in the pamphlet it says like it might be fine for 2 days, and you should probably heat it. Like, you shouldn't eat it raw, you should heat it in the home if you get it. And all this basically basically a bunch of bullshit. Just what you expect from the government, the usual. And then we talk a lot about how the farmers are having it really bad right now in Finland and in the European Union. You might have heard, like in the Netherlands and Germany, many farmers have given up their farms without a fight. What the fuck is up with that? Many of the farmers have done suicides even, and like they talk about how EU makes it really hard to basically even farm. Like they have to do all this bullshit paperwork. She even was like, what the fuck is this in Finland? It was kind of funny. There were over 60-year-olds. 60-year-old people, maybe like 64 or something. And she was cursing to me like, this EU is just a bunch of bullshit, making them do very unnecessary things. And that's what you expect. And I was like, I was so ready to start to talk about the Matrix, Illuminati, why they do this, they want us unhealthy. And I was hinting a bit, hinting it a lot actually, but I didn't go fully in there. But I think at some level they kinda get it. But that was interesting to talk about just the farming and how hard it is. They have to sell the milk very cheaply to the milk companies who then pasteurize and homogenize the milk. Basically make it homo. The pasteurized homogenized milk is homo milk. Makes you gay as fuck. So they basically have to sell it in a very, very low price to them, and then they do the processing, the homo stuff, and then they sell it to the stores. So that's one way they don't make much profits there. So that sucks. But they actually had very good quality milk. They have to do these tests very regularly, and they had actually won even some medals. Like they had some medals there for their excellent milk. Like the quality is very good. Then they talk about a lot. We talked about how hard it is to farm, because I've never done that kind of things and it is interesting to me. I would like to own animals someday, be more self-sufficient. So I was kinda interested about asking how hard it is. And the milk farmers said that it is pretty tough, like they have to be there all the time doing something. They had like 7 buildings. They had 15 cows, I think, which is not that much, like not that big of an operation. They milk the cows twice a day, but I think they have machines to do it. But they basically have to be very full on with the farming stuff. They don't have anybody to work for them. They do it by themselves. And they said it's kind of hard work. But the meat farmer who had like the meat cows, he said like it's super chill in the summer. Like the animals basically just chill outside and they don't have to do that much. But in the winter they have to clean them up and do something like more things. But he was like super chill about it. He also talked about a lot of the animal welfare, like they really make a point to treat the animals well. And he talked about like some maybe bigger farms, they even beat up the animals and the animals live in their own shit and that kind of stuff. And they clean their shit away like all the time, every single day. And they treat the animals very well. So that was good. They've been raised with love, so we can enjoy them. And the milk farmers, they have named all of their cows, and they even have like one pet, like male cow. They don't even like produce it for meat or anything, like they had just one male cow like a pet. That was pretty cool. So yeah, they talk about how the government officials come to test them, and one of the government health officials were like kind of same age as me, and he was doing some testing in the farm. Like they poured milk to the glass and then they took some of the tests for like bacteria or some shit, and then the lady who produces the milk and the cows, she said to him like, do you wanna taste the milk? Come on man, take a sip. And the guy was like, raw milk? No way. And then she just took the glass and like, I've been doing this 60 years. They also talked about how funny it is, like some people are so excited about, like me, about the raw milk and the cows, and how normal it is for her. Like her family has had some cows always, and she has always had raw milk and all this stuff like. And I was telling, like I think I was even giving them some marketing ideas, like a couple times I could see like some gears turning in their heads when I was telling some of the like stuff about, for example, I was talking about it's not really the bacteria that causes food poisonings, it's actually the toxicity if you raise the animals like badly and the animals are eating some toxic shit, then the toxicity goes to the animals and then it can then the toxicity can come out of in the milk or in the meats, especially in the organs. And I was telling this to them and they were kinda like, or like they wasn't sure maybe, like they were in the germ theory very much still, like it's the bacteria. I didn't tell them that I'm eating raw chicken. Starting to break down the bacteria meat. But they pretty much agreed also that like the bacteria is really good for us, like it's really good to get a lot of bacteria. I'm gonna make some sour milk or kefir from some of the milk I got. Get even more bacteria going there. Like test it out. That's actually very traditional thing in all the cultures that eat raw milk. And Finland, the sour milk is very traditional also. So I'm gonna let some of the milk I got sour a little bit, and then I can maybe give update how I'm feeling on the raw milk. But was there something else that we talked about? I don't know. They were very nice people. I think it was super awesome to get to know them, and they were very happy to talk about. Like, yeah, just like they cannot tell how long you should store the raw milk. They cannot tell that. But then obviously we talked about it like it stores for like 5 to 7 days in the milk form, and then it sours, which is completely fine then even. It just kind of ferments. Basically comes like very good probiotic food. This other, like the probiotic foods you get in the store that are from pasteurized milk, they don't work at all the same as the raw milk that's fermented because of the bacteria. But yeah, I think they were very happy that I knew so much also. It was like relieving for them. They didn't have to do these government little practices that the government forces them to do. But yeah, they cannot really sell it only from their own farm, and only if you bring your own canisters to pick it up, or bottles or whatever. Then the meat guy was not really a healthy guy. He was kind of like I was doing the organs and like the liver and heart. Like he was like he had never tasted the liver or heart from his own animals. But otherwise, he was very funny guy. And the meat is very good quality there. So yeah, maybe drinking about almost liter already of the raw milk. Obviously, the thing about milk is like I'm all excited about raw milk and like how cool it is. But the thing is, we are not baby cows. Not everybody's gonna handle raw milk good. Like some people will shit blood, even if they drink raw milk. Like milk is not for every human being. Not perfect food for humans. But some people tolerate it very well, and for some it's like really good. And if you eat or drink milk products, always go with the raw. The pasteurized stuff, it's for the homos. But I have even like tolerated the pasteurized stuff very well in my life. But it, like stomach wise, never had problems. But I did get like some acne from it, and once I got really bad like lymph node. My lymph node got really swollen from like this low fat pasteurized milk. I remember that. I was in the army doing some slavery back then. But yeah, for me, I had raw milk once before from the cow in my life. Like 6 years ago, I could get raw milk from this special store in the city I live in. But that was only like 2 weeks they had the raw milk, and then it has been illegal to sell raw milks in the stores. But what I experienced today, what I experienced then, is that raw milk is very like nurturing, very calming food for me, and I have no digestive issues at all with it. The thing about raw milk is that, well, the one thing that they even told us, like if you have lactose intolerance, you maybe can handle raw milk. They said they had many people like that because you have the lactase enzyme still intact with the raw milk. They haven't destroyed it with the heating and stuff. But there are still many people that can't handle milk. They get digestive issues, bloating, like bleeding shits, bleeding asshole, blood out of asshole. But the thing about milk is it's filtered blood, cow's blood. So if you can't get the blood, which is maybe the most nutritious thing, that's the next thing I want to get from these farmers and try. Never had fresh blood, only frozen blood. But the next best thing would be to drink your own urine. But I'm not gonna do that because that's gay as hell. But the next best thing after that is to drink some milk because that's filtered blood, basically. And the taste is very good, especially when you let it like like a heat up a little bit, like get the room temperature. I don't really like the cold milk that much. And one thing what was interesting, she said like it has been kind of hot summer and she likes to drink raw milk more than water in the hot summer days because she feels like it hydrates her better. And these people are not like very super health conscious, I think. Like a little bit, but not super. But she understood it from her own experience. Water just goes through you. This is very hard for most of the NPCs to get. Like I have told this to many people and they're like, what the fuck are you talking about? We shouldn't be drinking liters of water every day. But the media says it's so good. Actually, that shit don't hydrate you at all. This stuff, super hydrating. I was in the sauna just and I was sweating way more than usual. This stuff is super hydrating. Super delicious. Room temperature. That's the way to go. Even Arjun's Wonder Planets, the raw primal guy, the raw meat god for many. He talked about like if you drink the milk cold, it can give you some bloating even if you don't have any issues with raw milk. But when you let it, that was basically because it goes to your bloodstream too quickly or something like that, and you don't actually get the nutrients from the milk. So that basically shocks your body a bit when you drink cold milk. But when you drink room temperature milk, it's more bioavailable, if that's the right word, but it basically doesn't give this shocking effect for your body. Your body absorbs it better. So anyway, that was really cool experience. It was cool to see the animals, like very well treated animals. That's cool. Know where your food comes from, know the people. Make some cool connections. And have a good source for meat and milk now. I have raw milk source. That's really good for me because my body really very much enjoys milk, at least. First day, let's see about it in a couple of weeks, a couple of months even, but we'll see. Was there something else I want to talk about? I don't know, this video is long as hell. Anyway, go get the real food from the farmers, and it was cheap as hell, it was so cheap. I was kind of scared because I've heard the prices in United States of America, like the raw milk there is kind of expensive these days. But here, that shit is cheap as hell. So that was good. And the meat, the organs were super cheap. Oh yeah, one thing more. I was collecting blueberries from there, the bushes there. And I was thinking like, I got maybe like 200 grams of blueberries. And how many people would think like when you would ask which is more healthy for you, you have the raw milk that I showed and the meats, the organs, the heart, the liver and the meat and eggs, and then you have blueberries, wild blueberries. Which one is more healthy? Think about how many NPCs would say the blueberries. We are so lost. Nothing wrong with wild blueberries, but they are so much less nutritious than the raw milk and the organ meats and the meats and eggs. It's crazy. But yeah, and so much less tasty. So much less satisfying to eat. Oh yeah, but yeah, good day. Catched also like 20 fish there, but maybe not gonna eat them. I have so much more. So much milk and meat now. Anyway, it's been Based. See you on the next one.